you are secretly terrified that everyone else has a map, while you are wandering completely blind. The exhaustion of pretending you have it all figured out is quietly breaking you. If you want to finally drop that heavy act and understand the quiet mechanics of your mind, stay with me and consider subscribing to the Psyche Unfolding. Think about how much energy you spend every single day just trying to appear certain. You wake up, and immediately the pressure descends on you like a thick woolen blanket soaked in cold water. You have to know what comes next. You have to have a solid plan. You have to hold firm opinions, defend your choices, and project an image of absolute control to your family, your peers, and the world. But behind closed doors, when the room is dark and the house is completely silent, a different reality creeps in. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, feeling the tension locked in your jaw and the tight knot in your stomach. You listen to the rhythm of your own breath, and a whispering doubt rises from the shadows. You realize you are just guessing. You are navigating a vast stormy ocean in a tiny wooden boat, pretending you are the master of the wind. This is the root of your deepest anxiety. It is the desperate, clutching need to know everything. We build these towering walls of certainty around ourselves because the alternative feels too terrifying. We think that if we admit we are lost, we will be swallowed whole by the chaos of existence. So, you carry this invisible weight everywhere you go. Imagine a heavy leather backpack strapped to your shoulders, filled with 50 kilograms of jagged stones. Every stone is a question you feel you must have the immediate answer to. Every stone is a confident stance you have taken just to survive the harsh expectations of others. Your muscles ache, your spine bends, yet you keep walking, terrified that if you drop the bag, you will lose your identity. You treat your fragile mind like a wound-up clock, tightening the spring more and more, desperate for mechanical precision, entirely unaware that the tension is exactly what threatens to shatter the entire mechanism. You are trying to predict an unpredictable universe, trying to force the wild, untamed wilderness of life into a neat, perfectly manicured garden. It is a lonely, profoundly exhausting way to live. You defend your perspectives as if your physical survival depends on them. When someone challenges your worldview, your chest tightens, your heart races, and your hands tremble slightly. You fight back, not because you are undeniably right, but because being wrong feels like a kind of death. You are trapped in a fortress of your own making, guarding heavy iron doors that do not even exist. You step onto a theatre stage every morning, reciting lines you did not write, playing the role of the expert of your own life. You are so busy projecting this knowingness that you have completely lost the ability to simply be present. The tragedy is that this constant performance deeply isolates you. It keeps you disconnected from the raw, beating heart of life. You cannot genuinely connect with another human being when you are wearing a heavy suit of armor. And the truth you are so desperately hiding, the secret that keeps you pacing the floorboards in the middle of the night, is actually the most universal human experience of all. We are all stumbling in the dark. Every single person you admire, every person who seems entirely composed and brilliantly put together, is quietly improvising their way through the exact same mystery. We are all just pretending to know the way. What if I told you that the key to your absolute liberation is hidden inside the very thing you fear the most? Over the years, through countless quiet observations and guiding others through their own mental storms, I have come to a profound realization. The turning point in a human life does not come when you finally figure everything out. The true breakthrough happens in the exact moment you deeply, authentically realize that you know absolutely nothing. This is not a defeat. It is not a surrender to despair or emptiness. It is the most powerful awakening you can ever experience. Imagine standing in the middle of a dense, foggy forest. For years, you have been holding a broken compass, frantically running in circles, pretending you know the way out. You are exhausted, covered in scratches, gasping for air, constantly fighting the environment. Now imagine simply stopping. You let the broken compass slip from your fingers. You sit down on the damp earth, look at the thick, swirling mist, and say out loud, "I do not know where I am." Can you feel the shift in your chest? Can you feel the sudden rush of cool air entering your lungs? The moment you stop fighting the fog, the panic dissolves. The woods are no longer an enemy to conquer, they become a mystery to experience. When you strip away the arrogance of certainty, you are left with something breathtakingly pure. You are left with a blank canvas. By admitting your own ignorance, you instantly dismantle the heavy fortress around your ego. The 50 kilograms of jagged stones fall from your back, crashing to the soft ground. You are suddenly incredibly light. The need to be right is a suffocating prison, but the willingness to be wrong is an open door to endless growth. Trying to grasp absolute certainty is like trying to hold water in your clenched fists. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips through your fingers, leaving you with nothing but aching hands. But when you finally relax your grip and open your palms, the water rests there peacefully. When you finally embrace the reality that your understanding of the world is limited, flawed, and incredibly tiny, you stop defending an illusion. You realize that your tight grip on having all the answers was actually blinding you to the truth of how beautiful uncertainty can be. You cannot fill a cup that is already overflowing. If you walk into every room, every conversation, and every challenge, believing you already know exactly how things work, you close your eyes to the subtle, beautiful nuances of reality. You walk past the delicate wild flowers because you are only looking for the paved road. You hear the words people say, but you do not hear the quiet music beneath their voices. This need for certainty destroys relationships too. When you think you know exactly who your partner or your friend is, you stop observing them. You trap them in a mental box. But when you look at them through the lens of knowing nothing, you allow them to surprise you. You allow them to be complex, evolving beings. When you empty your cup, when you step into the world with the eyes of someone who knows absolutely nothing, everything becomes vibrant again. The colours of the world deepen. The sounds become sharper and more resonant. The people you meet are no longer characters in a script you have already written. They are vast, unexplored oceans. You begin to listen deeply, not to formulate a clever reply, but to genuinely absorb another soul. Your mind transforms from a rigid, brittle branch that breaks easily in the winter wind into a supple green reed that bends gracefully with the fiercest storm. This realization changes the very texture of your existence. You no longer have to be the exhausting defender of your own ego. You become a fluid observer, moving through the world with a profound sense of grace. I want you to let this realization sink deep into your bones. You do not have to have the answers. You do not have to know who you will be in 10 years, or even tomorrow morning. You do not need a perfect philosophy for living. The crushing pressure you have placed on your own shoulders is completely artificial, created by a mind that is terrified of the unknown. As we journey further into this quiet clearing, if you are finding comfort in this space and want to continue exploring the deep, peaceful architecture of your mind, please take a moment to subscribe to the Psyche unfolding. We will walk this path together. Now picture an abandoned house standing on a high hill. For years, the windows were tightly boarded up, keeping the inside dark, stale, and desperately controlled. Embracing the fact that you know nothing is like finally throwing open those heavy wooden shutters. The warm sunlight pours in, illuminating the dancing dust motes in the air. A fresh, cleansing breeze sweeps through the empty rooms, carrying the scent of rain and pine trees. Yes, the house is empty, but it is no longer terrifying. It is vast. It is full of endless potential. It is finally breathing. From this day forward, I invite you to make a gentle, unspoken pact with yourself. When you are faced with a complex problem, or when the crushing weight of the future tries to paralyze your steps, just pause. Take a slow, deep breath, let your shoulders drop, and whisper quietly to yourself, "I do not know, and that is perfectly okay." Feel the absolute peace in those simple words. Watch how the anxiety instantly loses its grip on your throat. When you stop demanding absolute certainty, the universe stops being a threat and becomes a playground. You replace your fear with curiosity. And here is a beautiful secret about the human mind. Curiosity is the ultimate antidote to anxiety. You cannot be terrified and intensely curious at the exact same time. Let yourself be a student of life again. Allow yourself to marvel at the sheer strangeness of existing on this earth. Notice the way the light catches the edge of a dark rain cloud, or trace the intricate pattern of veins on a fallen leaf, without needing to categorize it, name it, or explain it. Just witness it. You are free to change your mind. You are free to outgrow your old beliefs. You are free to let go of the rigid identity you built when you were just trying to impress a world that is just as lost as you are. You do not have to carry the stones anymore. You are standing at the edge of a magnificent, open field at dawn. The morning dew is glistening on the tall green grass. There are no marked paths, no maps, and no destination you are forced to reach. You just have the gentle morning light warming your face and the quiet, steady rhythm of your own footsteps. You have laid down the heavy armor. You have stepped out of the dark fortress. The air is sweet, the horizon is endless, and for the first time in a very long time, your mind is truly, deeply quiet.